First principle thinking is the exact reason why Elon Musk is so successful and he's been able to go ahead and build all these companies such as Tesla, SpaceX, and really innovate every single industry. So that is exactly why it's so important to understand how to go ahead and utilize first principle thinking. And before we get into today's video, let's talk about first principle thinking when it comes to YouTube videos. When you break things down, YouTube is made up of likes and subscribes, and that's exactly what helps the algorithm. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, because I really want you guys to utilize the first principle thinking when it comes to driving views and assisting the algorithm on YouTube. The idea is to break down complicated problems into basic elements and then reassemble them from the ground up. The smallest category in any subdomain is what we would call the first principle. You won't be able to get a true understanding of something unless you can understand first principle of that subdomain. So for example, you can go from the molecules down to atoms, down to the nucleus, down to the protons, down to the quarks, boiling problems down to the most fundamental truths, and then reason up from there. So understanding all the pieces. The fruit comes from branches, which comes from the trunk, which comes to the roots. So a first principle thinker would see the importance of good soil and fertilizer, whereas a conventional thinker thinks you could just simply plant seeds and apples will grow. And as you can see in the image here, there's a lot of parts within this massive tree, and you want to be able to optimize every single part. You want to make sure there's good soil. From there, you need to make sure there's good footing for it to go and have a good trunk and grow strong. Then you must make sure it has good lighting so the leaves get enough photosynthesis. And there's a lot of different parts to it. And a lot of people think, okay, you can just plant seeds and then grow. What people don't know is you're increasing the totality, meaning just by increasing all these individual parts, you're going to get a much more total gain, and I'll explain more in depth right now. So here's an example. An essay is broken into paragraphs, broken into sentences, broken down to words, and broken down to letters. So start by improving the simplest to the most complex. So you improve on your letters. You need to know all 24 letters. Then you want to improve on your words. Make sure you have very nice and sophisticated words. Then start improving on your sentences, then paragraphs, and then your whole essay as a whole. As a result, just by starting from the simplest to the most complex, the totality will be much greater than the sum of parts. So 1 plus 1 would equal 3. So what that means is, let's say you put in an extra 2 points to all 10 sentences. You don't get a total of 20-point gain, but you get a total of 30-point gain within the whole essay. So for example, creating successful dropshippers, like that's my dream. So how to go ahead and create a successful dropshipper? The students need to find a winning product. How do they go ahead and find a winning product? They have to test a product every day. How can they test a product every day? They have to have a solid mindset. How can they have a solid mindset? Students need to make the leap and choose to get started. How can they choose to get started? Students get motivated by the happy lifestyle and an abundant life that me and other entrepreneurs have. And how can they be motivated by those things? Students realize how fruitless the current 9-to-5 life is. And that's the fundamental. So I need to work from the bottom up. I need to make sure that people, one, know and see how fruitless 9-to-5 is. 2, I need to show them what is possible with entrepreneurship. 3, I need to convince them to take the leap to get started. 4, when they get into the program, I need to make sure they have a solid mindset. I need to make sure they test products every single day. And finally, 6, that would lead them to easily find winning products, and that's how I plan to create successful dropshippers. So let's go ahead and talk about the benefits of first principle thinking and why it's so important. So 1, innovation. When you understand the fundamentals of the idea, you can rearrange them and put them together in a different place that hasn't been done before. 2, this allows you to create a brand new idea or brand new product in a way that's much more optimized and efficient than the current trend of what people are currently doing. Next, optimization. A fundamental component can be changed in order to change any idea or product. After we understand what it takes to create successful dropshippers, we can put each section, like those 6 things I mentioned here, under scrutiny and make sure each one of these things as optimized as it can be, so that the sum of all those individual changes will be much smaller than the total result that we'll get from doing this. Next is integration. When you understand the fundamental components of an idea, it becomes easy to implement new knowledge to your understanding. When you master each stage from the bottom, it makes it much easier to work upwards. How to get started with first principle thinking. When there's any goal or problem, map out the hierarchy of it and ask why or how. Once you have reduced an idea to the smallest fundamentals, you have arrived at the first principles. So 1, start by identifying your visions and goals. You must be clear and specific. For example, create 1,000 dropshipping success stories. 2, list all the obstacles and actions, and you must be clear and specific. So how do I properly get students into the program? How do I efficiently get students results? 3, discover first principles. How do I reach new people? How much would it cost to get a new student? How do I increase the conversion rate on my funnel? How do I scale and automate all this? Will Facebook ads work? If I want to go ahead and help 1,000 people, I need to reach millions of people. And that's how I go ahead and utilize first principle thinking to help me help hundreds of students. Like, I've got tons of testimonials and it's only growing over time. And that's how you go ahead and use first principle thinking in your business. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate your time and effort. If you guys enjoyed it, all I ask is for you to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, follow me on Instagram, because the last person that did that is this person, and he just won $1,000 worth of courses or consulting courses with me. So if you guys want to qualify, just do those exact same things. On that, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it, and I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow with nothing but more value. Peace.